Welcome to Project Argo, a brand new first-person shooter that is due out very soon and is going to drop into the market from Bohemia Interactive. Now, I'm not sure how I missed the announcement of this game, but perhaps it wasn't broadcasted as much as a full-on AAA shooter might have been. It will be a totally free-to-play game, no pay-to-win aspects at all, and it will launch on June 22nd after having been in development for around 8 months or so. Argo is made by the same team who make ARMA 3. Does that mean then that the game will use its super realistic combat system combined with this complex set of buttons laid out across your entire keyboard? Well, not exactly. This is the first prototype game to come from Bohemia Incubator, which is an experimental department where the team can try out new ideas and expand their current engine to work on new features. The result is a stripped-down shooter experience, similar to ARMA 3 in its appearance, but diversifies itself by changing the gameplay to suit a more competitive environment. The game is built around the classic 5 vs 5 competitive multiplayer experience, but it uses ARMA's extremely lethal damage system. None of this 10 bullets to kill stuff that you see in other games, 1 or 2 shots, and you're dead on the ground. You'll be able to pick from one of 5 roles within the team that you're a part of. You've got Grenadier, Machine Gunner, Marksman, Rifleman, and Scout. And each of them obviously has their own playstyle and a weapon selection that is suited to that role. 2 sets of mercenaries, the Corporate Clouds and the Paramilitary Flames, are your 2 sides fighting it out over different objectives across a map called Malden, which is actually a recreation of the first ARMA map way back in the day. All of the playable locations are set out on this one map, but each of the 11 locations will be designed differently, leaving you to learn the different pathing routes and how best to manipulate the cover. Now, as I mentioned, Argo is built using ARMA 3 code, but it's been completely transformed, stripping out a lot of the stuff that just simply isn't needed when it comes to close quarters, tense infantry play. But at the same time, lots of items have been added to make sure the competitive nature of the game is 100% highlighted. So you've got a leaderboard system in place, along with a progression system, allowing you to earn XP and unlock new weapons and attachments for the different classes of infantry that you can play as. Gameplay is faster overall than ARMA 3, but it's been geared towards a speed where tactics and communication can still remain relevant. The developers seem very keen to let potential players know that the strategy of the title is one of the defining points that they're trying to hone in on, to really try and make it stand out from the competition. So this thing is going to be a competitive first-person shooter. What can you really expect from the multiplayer? What kind of scenarios are you going to be put in against 5 players on another team who you're trying to defeat? Well, Argo will feature 3 multiplayer modes and 1 co-op mode at launch, with the possibility of more being added in the future. There's no word from the developers on any future content yet. Starting with the multiplayer modes though, number 1, we have Link. This mode pits the 2 teams in a contest to be the first past the post on linking search devices together across the map. And the team will need to link these 3 times in order to win. Each team has 2 back points, 1A and 1B, and both of these need to be captured before you can move on to point 2. Both sides have their own point 2, and once that has been captured, you can fight for the central point, M. There is only 1 point that both teams have to fight over. Now, the more of the team that sits on the capture zone itself, the faster the point will capture. If you link the M point with your own point 2, which in turn is linked to 1A and 1B, then you will score a point. The enemy team can disrupt your hold on the capture point 2, which could then divert your attention away from the M point in the center of the map. Points 1A and B are respawn locations for each team, and a side mission of capturing a care package can be completed as well. Whichever team catches the crate first will stop the enemy team from being able to capture points for 30 seconds. Now, the second mode is called Raid, and once again, it's a best of 3 scenario, but this time it's all about downloading and protecting intel. The intel can be located at one of 3 locations, and that location is unknown to the attackers. They need to find this location and download the intel from a computer, which takes 25 seconds. Attackers only get 1 respawn each per round. Defenders can then disrupt this download to stop the attackers winning, or they simply need to eliminate the entire attacking team. If they can do that, they win the round. Once again, the care package exists in this mode, giving the attackers the exact location of the intel if they capture it, or reducing the time left for the attackers if the defenders capture it. Now, the third multiplayer mode is called Clash, which is a territory mode, and it is the largest on offer in Argo. You fight against the other team to take control of sectors across the map, which are chosen by the leading player on the attacking team. You have to stay within the objective area for 20 seconds to capture it, or eliminate all the enemies to win the round. The team to score 7 points first, or capture the opposing team's base, wins. The co-op mode, called Combat Patrol, lets you go on a mission with your friends, but no other details have been given at this time. So that's 3 multiplayer modes and 1 co-op mode, all featuring very different gameplay structures. Link is your fast-paced respawn mode, because you can respawn in it. The second mode, called Raid, is a little bit slower, a little bit more medium-paced combat. And third, we have Clash, larger overall, longer engagements, and the rounds should go on for a little bit longer. As I said, with the co-op mode, we don't really know anything about it yet, but it seems to be you and your friends against AI. Now, I mentioned the game will be free. I have a little bit of information here from the developers, and I think they explain it perfectly fine. So here's their quote regarding it. Everything in Argo will be available completely for free to everyone. There are no hidden microtransactions, no type of payment required to be able to play the game. Just claim Argo on Steam or via the Bohemia store, and you'll be able to enjoy everything it has to offer for free. At the same time, we know that some of you are eager to support our development, and for those willing to offer money, the completely optional Argo Supporters Pack is available for you. It comes in the form of a DLC on Steam, which you can pick up for €10, $10, or your regional equivalent. To express our gratitude, the Supporters Pack will come with a few cool in-game rewards. You'll get a set of 14 exclusive animations for the MVP screen, so we know there's going to be something at the end of the round where you can show off if you've won. You get access to a bundle of 22 unique apparel items, including facewear, headwear, and backpacks. These items are purely cosmetic, by the way, no gameplay benefits here. You get a highlighted name in the leaderboards, access to premium servers that will be exclusively available for Argo supporters, and access to vehicles in Argo's scenario editor. It's a bold move to make your game completely free, but the developers are keen to remind people that Argo was simply an experimental prototype. It took on a good enough form that they could release it as a standalone title. The learnings from their time making it can then be transferred onto other projects that Bohemia are currently working on. I will say one thing though, making a $10 customization pack that's totally optional but gives you the option to customize your character is a surefire way to make a little bit of money. Everyone loves customizing their characters in video games nowadays. Look at Battlefield 1 as an example and the backlash that's there that you cannot put a moustache on your World War I soldier. So then, do you like the sound of Argo? It's an interesting one to say the least, but people have been saying some good things about this title. I've linked the blog post down below if you want more information, and there's also a guide on how you can download the game right now if you want to, and you can play the prototype version until it's fully released on June the 22nd. And I will be likely giving this game a go when it does launch on Steam, and let me know in the comments if you're going to be trying it out as well. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.